All right, so this video is about the possibility of the Knicks trading for Myles Turner. The Pacers recently said that they might be looking to blow things up and rebuild, so Turner could be a guy that's on the move. And as we all know, the Knicks haven't had the best start to the season. So maybe they might be looking to make a move to get the team back on track. Obviously, there was the Rose deal last year, so maybe they might make a similar trade to get an impact player. But anyway, the point of this video is not to suggest trade packages or talk about Knicks that we might trade. I just really want to talk about what Turner could bring to the table and why I think he'd be a great fit for the Knicks. As always, feel free to comment whatever your thoughts are, including trade packages, though. I'd love to see what people say as far as that goes. Okay, so jumping in here with some stats. I picked a few important stats and players relevant to the situation here. So I got the Knicks' three centers, and I included Obi just to show his three-point inefficiency. Obi's a perimeter big, but he plays on the perimeter a lot, but the three-point is not there, and I just wanted to highlight that the Knicks don't have that consistent three-point shooting big to pair with Julius. So obviously Turner's numbers jump out, especially the almost 3 blocks a game and the three-point shooting percentage. And you can see his scoring volume and efficiency is something that the Knicks are seriously lacking from the bigs. And with the minutes, I included that just to give more credit to Turner's durability. I mean, he's played every game except one this year, and he's getting 30 minutes a game. And that kind of consistency, just from a playing standpoint, is something that the Knicks have been lacking at the center position. Let alone the scoring production. So all across the board here, Turner's a pretty big upgrade for us. And then on the net rating side of things, you can see the difference there. Taj's net rating is really high, but he's always with that Knicks bench unit that's doing well, and it's really not a big sample size with Taj either. And we know Taj isn't the answer for us at starting center. He's a great role player to have, but in terms of the guys who have been starting for us, and you look at Myles Turner's impact on his team, you can see the difference. But we can look at the numbers all we want. It would be great, though, if there was some film with Turner that we could apply to the Knicks, especially if he was with a player similar to Julius Randle, sort of like a strong lefty, inside scoring big type player who finds his teammates out of the post. Oh, Sabonis. What's up, Sabonis? How you doing? So, yeah, the Pacers have Sabonis. So naturally, I watched all of Sabonis' assists on Turner three-pointers and selected a compilation of the most Julius-esque passes. All right, so you have some back-to-basket, cross-court. That has Julius written all over it. Next one, coming in, slow, back-to-basket, across the lane. It's wide open, spacing. Here's another one, in the post. Little dipsy-do. That seems like a Randle play. This one is really Randle. He even fumbled the ball for us. And then just the spacing is so much different with Turner on the court. This is another similar play. Getting under the basket and then kicking out to a spaced center. Now this play is really something that is rare for a center to be able to do. He's coming off a dribble handoff between the legs, pull up. Obviously, the Knicks don't have someone who could do that type of stuff from the center position. Just another kick out. Just another example of him spacing the floor. Here's a Julius-esque cross-court pass. Hard as a bullet, right to the shooter. In the post, double comes down. No worries, that's Myles Turner, 36%. Okay, so here's some more stats from NBA.com's lineup stats. So the net ratings of lineups with the combinations here speak for themselves. You see Julius with the 3 traditional Knicks centers here, and those numbers are just emblematic of the early season struggles that we've seen with Julius and, when the starters are in the game. Julius and Obi, though, they've meshed well, very well, actually. And, Obi's more of a perimeter big. He doesn't really play inside all that much. He catches lobs, but he cuts in from the perimeter, and he spaces out a lot. But he can't even really shoot that well, and he hasn't been shooting that well. So, I think that if you put, a big that not only spaced the floor, but that also could back it up with some shot making from three, Julius would mesh with him very well. And then the Pacers bigs together, obviously Sabonis and Turner, they've worked well together. And, Sabonis is similar enough where, I think Turner could transition smoothly from Sabonis, from playing with Sabonis to Julius. And now I just want to break down one possession from the recent Knicks game against the Celtics just to see how the flow of offense could change with Turner in the mix. Okay, so just to break down a possession here where a shooting big, floor spacing big, just like Myles Turner, would make a real impact on the flow of the offense. So we're just going to let this play through a little bit. Okay, now right here, so it was like sort of like a double screen action with Randall and Mitch. They get the switch on the first one. You have Pritchard on Randall rolling to the rim. I just want to focus on this. So let's say this is Myles Turner. Right now, he would be popping to this wide open spot of the floor. So if the Celtics guard it exactly the way they do in this clip, that's just a wide open three. And, so let's say they don't guard it the same way now that it's Turner, right? So let's say Cantor is up here now. And, and another thing, too, about this scenario, this situation right here. So you have Randall rolling to the rim, and he's got Pritchard on him, which is good, but Cantor is entirely able to plug this up because Mitch is not a threat. Okay, so now let's say, all right, they guard it differently now that it's Myles Turner. Cantor's up here, and Cantor's attached to Mitch. Well, the pop's not open, but you still have this advantage. You still have Kemba with Tatum on his hip. You still have Randall at the rim with no big on him. And then Nesmith, I think that's Nesmith, he's going to have to step in and help on this Kemba drive, and you have Fournier open in the corner. And, all right, well, let's say they switch it now. So you got Turner popped here, with Tatum switched on to him, and now you have Cantor switched on Kemba coming downhill. You still have Randall in the paint with no big on him, and it's still an advantage. I'm sorry this thing keeps popping up. I don't know how to fix that, but you still have the advantage here, and funnily enough, we do wind up scoring. But another thing though. Look at what actually happened. They roll to the exact same place, and they're basically holding hands now. It's a miracle we actually scored on this, and if this is anyone other than Peyton Pritchard, we don't score. But us scoring, that's not the point here. I just think there's a lot more potential for our offense with plays like this if we have that added versatility of a shooting big. So overall, I just think that it can make a lot of sense, and it would help Julius a lot by having a center who can space the floor for him. And so with that being said, thanks so much for watching, especially if you're someone other than one of my close friends or dad. Please feel free to comment some thoughts.